Here, we are moving on to Chapter 8. This is where we talk about the muscle of our system. We often get caught up in debates about which tool is better, but as our Ch8 is about to explain, the tool matters much less than the architecture it sits within. We are going to look at how to stop the cycle of swapping tools and start building a system that lasts. Let us join our Ch8.
Chapter 8: Execution Engines in Context. The tool is the hammer. The architecture is the blueprint. A hammer cannot build a house without a plan, and an automation tool cannot secure a network without a proper system around it. The tool swapping trap. I've watched the same expensive mistake play out at banks, government agencies, and utility companies. It goes like this. A team announces they're building an Ansible system or becoming a Terraform shop. 6 months later, they're replacing Ansible with Python. A year after that, they're testing a vendor's product. 2 years in, they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and their network automation is no more reliable than when they started. The problem isn't the tools. The problem is they never built a proper system. Think of it this way. Ansible, Terraform, and similar products are like power drills and saws. They're useful, but they don't build houses by themselves. You need architectural drawings, building inspections, electrical codes, and project managers. Without those, you're just buying increasingly expensive tools whilst the house remains unbuilt. This chapter explains how automation tools fit into a complete system and why picking the right tool is never your main problem. What execution tools actually do? Execution tools are the only components allowed to actually touch your network equipment. This isn't just good practice, it's a security wall. In a properly designed system, no engineer can log into a router directly. Instead, they submit their intent to the control layer. The control layer validates the request, checks the approvals, and then, and only then, does it tell the execution engine to do the work. The execution engine's job is simple but critical. Translate. Turn high-level instructions into specific language the router understands. Connect. Securely log into the equipment. Verify. Make sure the change actually happened and report back to the control layer. Why the best tool doesn't exist. I often get asked, which is better, Ansible or Terraform? The answer is always, it depends on the job. Trying to pick one tool for everything is like trying to build a whole house using only a screwdriver. You could probably do it, but it would be a terrible house and take far too long. A professional architecture is tool agnostic. This means that the brain of your system, the control layer, is designed so that it can talk to any tool. If you want to use Ansible for your legacy switches and Terraform for your cloud firewalls, your architecture should support that without you having to rewrite everything. The muscles versus the brain. The biggest mistake organizations make is letting the tool define the process. If you build an Ansible process, you are stuck with how Ansible thinks. If you move to a new tool in 3 years, you have to throw everything away and start again. When you build a proper system, the brain stays the same even if you swap out the muscles. You keep your security rules, your approval processes, and your history, even if you swap out the tools that talk to the routers. Takeaway: build the system first. Pick the tools second. Hard rules to take forward. Tools don't define your system. If swapping a tool requires redesigning your governance model, you never had a system in the first place. Separate building from configuring. Infrastructure tools create resources. Configuration tools manage device settings. Don't mix these jobs. Centralize execution. All tools must be triggered by your pipeline system, never manually from someone's laptop. Safe rerunning is mandatory. If a tool can't safely run against already configured equipment, it doesn't belong in production. Define the connections between layers. The contract between layers matters more than any specific tool's implementation. If you finish this chapter still believing your main challenge is Ansible versus Terraform, you've missed the point. Your main challenge is designing an execution layer that will outlive any specific tool.
It is easy to get distracted by the latest shiny tool, but a professional architect focuses on the system. When you build an architecture that is tool agnostic, you are protecting the company's investment and making sure your work will still be valuable years from now. If you have ever been caught in a tool war at work, let me know in the comments soon. I would love to hear how you handled it. In the next chapter, we are going to look at the heart of organizational trust, change management, and audit. I will see you there.